Hello, everybody. Joe Bagdonis here, and welcome, one and all, for a new series or continuation, however you want to call it, of Muv-Luv. It's been a long time. This one's been in the works for a bit, mainly just because my friend that I commissioned to actually do the artwork that's on the thumbnail, the lovely artwork, which link to their Twitter and Patreon, whatever, will be in the comments down below. Thanks, Johnny. Took a little bit, no fault of their own. It's been like a year and a half since I fucking commissioned that, but hey, you know, what's a wait between friends? I think they did a fantastic job. Came out exactly how I liked. And to be honest, you know, a little humble brag right off the start, I think that thumbnail actually looks fucking great. Between the background and the colors and the text and the picture and the little glow it has, I think I did a fantastic fucking job composing that thumbnail. It was actually kind of difficult to find, like, a city background on fire that wasn't fucking AI. Holy shit. That took me, like, 20 minutes of just looking through and, like, altering my search terms to try to get something that wasn't fucking bullshit. Then I'm like, wait a minute. Tick, 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 tick. City, fire, anime, visual novel, Fate Stay Night. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, Fate. Cities are always on fire. So I just searched for that. I don't remember exactly what series I pulled the, like, City on Fire background from, if it was, like, the Unlimited Blade Works anime, or if it was Heaven's Feel, or I saw some of them which were available for, like, Last Encore, that Fate Extra show that nobody fucking watched, because apparently it's absolute dog shit. And no one references it and doesn't get brought up, and she's like, yeah, that was a thing, we don't talk about it. Just completely ignored. Kind of like the Muv-Luv alternative anime, waka waka. That I never watched the second season too, because after the first one, I'm like, no thanks. No thanks. And going off of that, oh boy, some of the like to dislike ratio on those anime reactions long time ago for the alternative anime when it was coming out, they ain't so good, because I did not glaze that show. I thought it was fucking dog shit, and people don't like it when they hear the thing they like is bad. Sorry. Hopefully this won't be very bad though, because I remember Total Eclipse being good, the visual novel anyway. I know they did like one season of the anime which only like adapted half of it. Very strange. Muv-Luv has a very strange like adaptation like history. Like originally, you know, Muv-Luv, you know, Extra, you know, back in the day just called Muv-Luv, was supposed to be adapted in like the early 2000s, 2005, 2006, but the funding fell through, so that never happened. Which I will be a fucking Muv-Luv like crusader saying that if the 2005 pitch got made, Muv-Luv would have been one of the defining anime of the late aughts. 100%. It would have essentially been like, oh, fucking Attack on Titan before Attack on Titan. Like, it would be one of the cornerstone bedrock pieces of media, which it kind of still is, like, with the anime and what it did for, like, the visual novel landscape. Like, it, obviously I'm going to give Muv-Luv its flowers, but as far as, like, the actual anime sphere, if that got made and they stuck the landing and they did the whole, you know, extra to unlimited to alternative, it's like a big arc, insane. Would have fucking blown minds. It would have been great. Would have been great. But then, unfortunately, never happened. And now it seems like Muv-Luv's kind of in a weird spot. We're still waiting on, you know, the Day After 4, Resonative, whatever it's being called. The mobile games have been... We all saw what happened with the last gacha. It fucking dog shit development, got released, horrific bugs where you could scam the gacha. So it got unreleased, back in the oven, came out, and then I think just a little bit ago it got the axe after like a year and a half or something, got hit with the end of service, or at least I'm pretty sure end of service has been announced. And now there's this other kind of, I think it's well, visual novel. A lot of gotchas are visual novels. Game they're going to be doing where it's kind of going back to like the basics, roots, kind of a little bit of the regular slice of life Muv-Luv, but also the fucking TSFs, whatever they're called, the mechas. God, you can tell it's been a while. I can still remember the name of the big one right there on screen, the Takumi Kazuchi, but I can't remember what the fucking acronym is. TSF? I think that's right. TFS? I think it's TFS. Doesn't matter. So we'll see how that goes. It's kind of been rocky roads for Muv-Luv. Company direction, I think they went like really big in on NFTs and crypto, and as everyone knows, NFTs are dead. They're just fucking kaput. Any steam they had just got completely stolen by crypto and AI. And even then, if you're kind of like AI, it's like, oh wow, what a large percentage of the economy, crazy investment opportunities, like infinite growth. It's great. But then if you kind of like pull back the curtains and peek around and see what's actually going on back there, it ain't so hot. If you want to know, essentially AI doesn't make any money. There's like no way to generate profits. All the money in the AI sphere right now, it's all speculative. It's all investment based. Literally .com bubble shit, except it's like, I think it's like over 7 times as big as the .com bubble was. And the amount of resources you need to use to operate like AI data centers, razor thin profit margins. Like you are fucking fighting tooth and nail to break even. Like it's fairly untenable as it currently stands. So people are worried that it's probably going to pop soon. Fortunately, I think that's a good thing. I don't think AI is in its entirety is like the devil. I think it does have its use cases that it is perfectly fine and applicable for. The issue is like the generative just stealing everybody's shit AI. If AI is just like fully dedicated to, problem solving in like physics in the medical field, great. Perfect. That's a perfect use case for it. But as it stands, the industry cannot support itself. Industry in big quotations marks right there. So we'll see how that goes in the next couple of years. Only like half the fucking U.S. economy is tied up in AI investments. Ooh. So we'll see how that goes. It'll be fun. And I kind of went off on that tangent because ages, whatever parent company Muv-Luv currently falls under was kind of in that crypto NFT rabbit hole, and those same people are going to pivot to AI, and now that it's going to fucking get their legs swept out from under them when that pops. So it's a little weird. They're on shaky footing. But hopefully the future will be good. I hear they're trying to do a translation of what's the one with the fucking evil German bitch that like makes my dick hard? It's like Schwarzmecken or whatever. The one that got an anime, but like the actual VN never got translated. At least I think it's a VN. I think there's also a light novel for it, but I don't remember if that's like a chicken and egg scenario where they're one and the same, but like one, like the light novel's an adaptation of the VN, or the VN's like a fucking light novel adaptation. I don't know. I'm not that far in the weeds. But there is other stuff out there that they're from the past that they're trying to like bring to the global audience, which I think would be good. Anyway, that was a long preamble of fucking nothing that I was talking about. Anyway, hi, yeah, Total Eclipse. Total Eclipse is good. Go read Total Eclipse if you haven't. If you're here after listening to me rant for 10 minutes, and you don't know what the fuck Muv-Luv is, how did you find this video, for one? And two, go read it. It's pretty good. Muv-Luv's pretty good. And then Total Eclipse is pretty good. And this is a prequel to Total Eclipse. So really, you could read it before if for whatever reason you're like one of those people who's like really into chronological order instead of release order. Personally, I'm a release order kind of person. Like, this media is, quote unquote, designed to be read after because it's built off of it has like pre-baked story and stakes and like reveals that you would only get if you know the original material. At least that's how prequels work in my mind. Like, it's supplementary, but also it uses the original as a foundation to build itself up. Very, very symbiotic relationship, but I feel like it's good to have consumed, media must consume the original before doing a prequel. So if you want to watch this before you go read or watch Total Eclipse, that should be fine. I don't think there's any like super crazy reveals in this one. It's just kind of going over the stories about how, Yui, fucking everybody she loved and cared for died, and how she became kind of a stuck-up bitch before she learned to, like, let her hair down a bit. And, get better and be more of a normal person. So, don't really see that affecting your enjoyment of Total Eclipse if you see this first. But, I've already said my bit. I'm just kind of going in circles now. Anywho, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, I was going to start this episode, this series a couple days ago. But I proceeded to buy this and a bunch of other stuff on the Steam Winter Sale. I actually didn't even know this was on Steam yet. I thought I was going to have to go find, third-party copy somewhere, Get an original copy shipped over from Japan, and of course, just find a patch that I would install on top of that, so that way I'd be able to play my legally acquired copy of Muv-Luv, Alternative Total Eclipse, the Imperial Capital Burns, in English, using a fan translation with my official source, of course. But it was on Steam, so I was just able to get it like that, nice and easy. But I also bought a bunch of other stuff, a bunch of like old games for like $5, like some PS2 ones that got ported to the PC, like I got Bully, I got some other stuff. The big one that I'm like, ooh, fucking, I've never seen like anybody ever talk about this game, but I had it for the PS2 and I never beat it because it was honestly kind of a hard game. Was Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. Goated PS2 game. I say that having never beaten it because I was a shitty kid, but I loved playing it. I was a shitty gamer as a kid, but I loved playing it. So I got it, I booted it up. I'm like, yeah, this is fun. Has some of the standard old game up-resed to, modern PC sizes issues, like, oh, the UI is kind of small. Screen's a little bit stretched, but other than that, it was fine. Until about like an hour and a half in, I'm like, oh, I'm kind of getting a bit of a headache. Like, oh. And then playing for a little bit longer, and it's like, oh, getting kind of like gassy. Like, ugh. I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna throw the fuck up. Something with the frame rate and the, the field of view, and something, the VSync. Like, I wasn't getting any screen tears, but something about it made me so fucking sick. And it seems like it's a not just me thing. Like, I was looking at the Steam discussions, and people have brought it up before. Something about how that game translates to modern hardware fucking scrambles your brain. Oh my god, I'm never gonna finish that unless I like emulate it, or get a PS2 and play an original copy, because I would never download a card. No siree, not me. So yeah, I was sick. And then I just didn't feel like I was in the mood to do anything that day. So I didn't. And then yesterday was kind of the first day of my winter break. I have a week off work. Woo. Before I have to work 7 days straight through the New Year's. So, you win some, you lose some. So I'll have plenty of time to work on this. But other than that, new year, new schedule, new bunch of things that I'm going to be doing. Doing this, I'm actually going back and watching, the 1971 Kamen Rider as like a reaction series that I'm going to be posting soon. And then, if you're only here for the Muv-Luv, one of the other things I read this year was Summer Pockets, Keys. I don't think it's their newest, but relatively new visual novel they released a couple years ago. Read through that. pretty decent. It's a pretty good visual novel. I liked it. Some of the routes were kind of but like I wouldn't say it's objectively bad. It had just no bad parts, just some that aren't as good as the others. Overall, I'd give it like an 8 out of 10. Pretty good. Had an anime release this year, so I will be doing a reaction of that as well as soon as my other friend is finished helping me make the thumbnail for that one. Because I helped them out with some stuff, so they offered to do it as like a repayment thing. Even though I said I didn't need anything, it'd make them feel better if they helped me do it. So, waiting on that thumbnail before I start that series. And other than that, I'll probably get around to like White Album 2 sometime next year. Hopefully early in the year. And it's not like this year where things kind of got dragged out and I didn't get as much done as I would have liked. 2026, new year, new me. We'll get a ton of shit done, assuming I don't get sent to the far corners of the earth to die in like the fucking Amazon rainforest and like a ground invasion of Venezuela. Knock on wood. Hopefully not. Hope not. I'm sure the hazard pay would be nice, but no thank you. Anywho, that's enough rambling. I've been going for like 15 minutes. Let's actually hop in here and start it, yeah? Ooh, yeah, I got the little hotbar things on the sides. I remember that from Total Eclipse. Woof. Oh yeah, and I barely remember like any of the names of the aliens. The beta? Were they the beta? I don't know. That sounds right. Unless I'm just making up acronyms. Like the classifications. Like I remember tank and soldier, but like the big bug beetle ones and like the big gross kind of fleshy walking on stilt ones with the tail stinger. I don't remember their fucking names. Like I said, it's been a hot minute since I've done anything Muv-Luv. Hey, look, you win some, you lose some. It happens. And calling back to things in the original, and now we're going back to see them in the past. Cute glasses. Cute tomboy. Very shoujo-esque. Big ribbon. I like it. The best friend you totally have a completely heterosexual relationship with. That is on the thumbnail. Yep. Those are some wrecked buildings. All right. I actually have no idea how long this spinoff is. Whether it's like, 10 hours, 30 hours, if it's like a full fucking 60-hour VN. Because I just finished up Utawaru Mano, and Mask of Truth was so fucking long. Like, its first half, Mask of Deception was only like 60 hours. That was like over 100. Shit was wild. Oh, sorry, we're getting lore dumped. Go off, Queen.
1958年、アメリカの無人火星探査計画バイキングは地表面に生息する数種の大型歩行生命体を発見した。数億キロメートルの距離を経てもたらされたその方は科学者たちを狂気させると同時に彼らの雇用者には大いなる希望を、そして出資者たちには莫大な富の予兆を授けた。その存在を知る人々の多くは火星生命に対し同じく神の非創造物という宗教的な慈しみ、あるいは同胞的な親近の念を抱き、来たるべき火星有人探査とファーストコンタクトの夢に熱狂した。
Cool.
1967年。
Until they get there and they find out the aliens are Anabaptist, and it's like, ooh.
突如として月のサクロボスコクレーターに現れた火星起源種は国際高級月面基地プラトー1に所属する地質調査隊を一人残らず食い込んだ。
Yeah, the war for the moon
サクロ
didn't
ボ
go
スコ事
great.
件と呼ばれるこの惨事以降、彼らは無慈悲な進撃を続け、月面におけるその半島を思うがままに拡大した。国連交渉
Yeah, they were beta. Nice.
人類に敵対的な異星起源種と命名されたその途中生命
The
体は
gross 3D model
宇
looking
宙空
asses.
間月面という敵対的環境変化をものともしない強靭な生命力と適応能力、何よりも圧倒的な物理
Oh, other Muv-Luv stuff that didn't go that great was like that 3D, you know, I don't know if you call it beat 'em up, but you know, Mikhail.
そして
I played that for a little bit. You know, honestly, it wasn't that great.
人類もまた
You know, support for it
等しく
didn't
生
last
命
very
の
long.
摂理に支配される存在
It's
に
kind of
過
on
ぎないというシンプルな現実。
just maintenance mode,
1973
where I think the servers are still up, but like
ベ
they're
ータ
not
は
doing
ついに
anything
地
with
球
it.
侵攻を開始。
China
ユーラシア大陸中央部中華人民共和国新疆ウイグル自治区へ降下ユニットを着陸させた。だが中国政府はそれを脅威と認識しなかった。
Indeed, once they read the works of Mao, the aliens would, you know, clearly understand
地球の地上戦においては
the
航空
importance
兵
of
器を
collective
含
action.
む膨大な戦力を投入できる。中国政府は優勢に推移する戦況を背景に多国籍軍の派遣を誇示、異星起源種サンプルの独占を図った。ところがその十数日後、状況は一変する。
Yep. You know, once they
強力
adapted
な生体発
The
信レーザー
lasers!
機関を有する新種
with their cute big
レーザー
eyes.
属種の出現によって航空兵器が完全に無力化されると物量に抗しきれず戦線は瓦解。核による焦土戦術も効果なく中央アジアは瞬く間にベータの手に落ちた。
Oops.
1974年カナダのアサバスカに
So,
第2の降下ユニッ
you're
ト
saying it's the
が
Chinese' fault.
ベー
Gotcha.
タによる北米大陸侵攻が開始された。アメリカとカナダは中国の教訓を生かし降下ユニットの着陸直後、ベータ固体軍の物量展開前に集中的な核攻撃を加え、
Good call. It was like in
侵攻の阻止を
Saskatchewan anyway. No one gives a fuck. You know, we should
だが
nuke that
そ
shit
の代償は
today.
大きく、カナダ国土の 30% が半永久的な放射能汚染地帯と化した。
Yeah, it's fine.
ベータ大戦と呼ばれる20数年の戦いに
Sure, it's like part of one of the
ユーラ
global
シア
bread
大陸
baskets,
の
but
各国軍は
you can't make it on
交
without
代
breaking
の
a couple eggs.
ユーラシア大陸の 90% を占めるベータ支配域は森林、動植物から土壌のバクテリアに至るまで自然環境が根こそぎ破壊され、背部と呼ばれる巨大な巣以外には何も存在しない平野にならされてしまっている。ベータとの戦いにかかっているのは人の存亡ではなく地球起源生命の総絶滅なのだ。その現実を目の当たりにした人類は欧州の陥
Yep,
落を
reform the
遂げ
UN and
よう
make
やく
like the
国連
fucking
の下に
ugliest
戦力を
uniforms
結
the
集
world has ever seen.
各国軍の司令系統を再編し世界規模の統合
You
運
know, the
用を
UN uniforms on their own
だが
don't look that bad. It's like, oh yeah, they're kind of
人類の対ベータ基本
sci-fi.
戦略は
But then once you start
対
putting them
戦
next to
力の補充を一つ
contemporary,
に体
you know,
制の
military
立て直しと
uniforms,
そ
they
の
look
時間を
absolutely
稼ぐた
fucking
め
ridiculous.
失地回復と敵殲滅からユーラシア封じ込めに
With like their
大
separate
きく舵を
sleeves and like the giant fucking points of the
莫大な犠牲
sleeve
の
going up
対
to
価
the
として
shoulder.
国連の対ベータ総力戦研究計
Like
画
a
が得た
little
生態調査
silly.
データに加え航空兵力を代替するためアメリカが開発した新概念兵器
Yeah,
戦
TSF.
術
I
歩
was
行
right.
戦闘機の量産と実戦投入によって人類はかろうじてベータの進行を遅滞させている。1997年東アジアの最前線はじりじりと朝鮮半島を南下し続け、滅びの影は日本帝国に迫っている。
Okie doke. I'm sure nothing bad would ever happen to the Japanese home islands. Oh, we actually get an OP. Nice. Time to get the video copyright claims. Hopefully not strike. Copyright claims are fine. I get those a bunch. It just means it can't be monetized, but the shit ain't monetized anyway, so... because I don't have enough subscribers, so be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and notification bell. Check out the Discord link in the description down below. Come remember today and give me your money. No subs. Is what it is, though. We take him. I could be cool and, like, find a subtitled version and, like, splice them in, but I don't care to do that, because it's a lot of fucking work. I did that before. I, like, manually subbed some of the songs in White Album, because, you know, it's an idle game. It's pretty important to the narrative, you know, the songs. And nobody fucking appreciated it. It took me like 3 hours to do, and all they said was like, you did an ugly fucking font and color for the language. And I even did like the karaoke, like as it advances, the fucking text changes. And it's like, never do fucking anything for you guys ever again. Except, you know, do the series you like. So if you ever want me to do a series, let me know down in the comments, and I will put it into consideration. Thank you for your loyalty to me by, you know, keeping with your thoughts and giving me your money. Woo, achievement unlocked, but I can't quite see it because I got my Windows taskbar on the bottom of the screen, because this game does not like it when I go into full screen mode. Well, the game works fine. It's the issue with OBS and keeping on the second monitor. It does the thing where it tries to, like, adjust the aspect ratio of my screens, but because I have two monitors, it, like, fucking takes everything off my second monitor, and it's like, well, now I can't fucking see what I'm recording. And I don't like that, because that's bad vibes. Cool. Reading about the giant laser class and, like, line of sight and the curvature of the Earth. I wonder if the lasers are like radio waves, because if you don't know, you know, radio waves generally travel in a straight line. However, you are able to curve, like UHF and VHF slightly to kind of follow the curvature of the Earth instead of just traveling in a straight line. So they can go slightly beyond line of sight, but not super far. It's not like a HF AM radio wave where it bounces off the ionosphere and you can hear it on the other side of the world. If conditions are particularly well with like magnetic interference from the sun, and you know it's at nighttime, you can sometimes hear yourself if you transmit on an HF broadcast that has enough power to it. You know, you transmit and then you wait a couple seconds, and you might hear like a muffled, distorted, you know, kind of low power echo of it receiving your own transmission after it bounces all the way around the world. Kind of cool. Can you tell I work on airplanes? Though we rarely use the HF. That's mainly only for when you're flying over the ocean, because, you know, there's no radar centers to talk to directly underneath you within line of sight, so you need to have some beyond the line of sight communication. It's kind of seen as the backup. Ah, peaceful Nippon. Oh, they even got shit moving in the background. I will say the kind of, what I was going to say, budget, you know, presentation. There we go. The presentation is very nice so far. Kyoto, the 1,000-year-old capital of the Japanese Empire and the hometown I hold so dearly in my heart, where ancient traditions and the fruit of modernity coexist in perfect harmony, a place that defines the essence of the Imperial nation. But not all is well. Even now, the front lines of a cruel war creep ever closer to our borders. Without fail, the daily news is saturated with information about the war across the Eurasian continent. Ill tidings of death and devastation fill the airwaves, carrying harrowing tales of countless refugees and displaced persons. I have no doubt that an existential threat may soon reach the Empire. However, it seems not many share my concerns. The masses in this peaceful city would rather turn a blind eye to the looming crisis. Following the Beta invasion, Japan, which provides extensive support to the Far Eastern Front in Eurasia, has grown into one of the world's most prosperous economies. Yep, good for manufacturing jobs. While a bloody struggle, the likes which mankind has never seen, rages all over the earth, our motherland remains largely at peace. Morning comes with nothing whatsoever change. What? Morning comes and nothing whatsoever changes from the day before. We go about our daily lives as usual, without the need to risk life or limb. The people's spirits are high. They live their lives detached from the horrors of a war unfolding before their eyes, not realizing that they will soon reach our doorstep. For many of my countrymen, the battle against the Beta exists solely within the confines of a TV screen. Born from a samurai house, I am part of the Royal Guard. In dark days like these, people like us must stand tall and muster unwavering strength. We must become surface pilots post-haste so that we can protect His Majesty the Emperor and His Highness the Shogun, as well as the people of Japan and this land we hold dear, with our own lives if need be. Much is demanded from me, in particular, as the sole heir of House Takamura, a noble lineage of weaponsmiths from the Fudai Daimyo, a clan whose ancestors supported Tokugawa Ieyasu before the Battle of Sekigahara. As a member of one of the selected houses granted the honor of entering the shogun's residence, I must strive to maintain our family's reputation and serve as an example for others of similar standing. Ooh, Gokigenyo, fucking Ojo-sama over here.
ごきげんよう。なんだゆい、また教本読んでたの？別にちょっと時間があったから暇つぶしに見ていただけだよ。
Reading while walking is a weird thing to do. I don't like it.
教本なんて暇つぶしでも見たくないわ。ほんと偉いよ。さすが我らの小隊長殿。やだな、アキ。からかわないでよ。いやいや、待ち合わせはいつも早く来るし、価格で押し付けられる面倒事も文句言わないでやるし。ほんと、うちは戸ざまでよかった。
Yeah, that shit sucks. What, were you on the other side?
アキ、そういうのは戸ざまでもちゃんとやろうよ。まったくだわ。価格くくりで同類扱いされる私と島子の立場も考えてよ。一体何の話？
Yeah, this underlying Japanese politics stuff kind of goes over my head. You know, which family was allied with who during which fucking shogunate and yada yada yada. Though I did download or did buy one of the newer Nobunaga's Ambition games during the winter sale. It wasn't very much off. It was only like 20% off, so it was like $50. But I still got it. So maybe I'll learn some Japanese history by playing that.
あのさ、アキ、お願いだから私の自信の拠り所を奪わないで。拠り所？武家の矜持は別として、実際問題、私軍でちゃんとやっていけるかすごく不安なのよ。ああ、そういうことか。まあ、そりゃ確かに。
Hey man, it might be nepotism, but fucking ride that shit as far as you can.
難関の英士教練に選抜されたことだけがやっていけそうって思える。
No, use that shit as a pry bar to open up as many doors as you can. Like, it's important to, put in the effort to make sure that you're actually worthy of those roles, but if you got a lead, you might as well use it, even if I do think it's, kind of fucked up.
わかるよ、泉。戦車兵や機械化歩兵は悲惨だもんね。英士に選ばれてほんとよかったよね。
Oh, I'm getting a message for? Oh. Christmas present shipping. UPS or USPS notifying me. Yeah, imagine, working in a tank. Ugh.
なんで逃げるんだよ。だから全然良くないの。 あんたも選ばれてる時点で自信のよりどころがコッパみじんなんだから。なんだそれ。なんで私がコッパみじんなんだよ。ちょっとアキ、泉もそれそれ。
Yeah, no fighting so early in the morning. You'll get your blood pressure up. It's not good for your heart.
やっぱり英士選抜って部門の品位は考慮外なのね。だったら泉、あんただって武家の
No, that's because all the people who care about that stuff are fucking dead. So.
あら、ご覧の通り私は
Your warm body, you know, they'll put you in the fucking seat.
わきまいなさいよ。せいぜいみだらな愛欲に流されないようにね。何言ってるのよ。私たちは別にそんな、もう二人とも。
A weird camera pan there.
ほんと気楽でいいよね、武家のお嬢様方はさ。
I mean,
朝から
they do.
あんなはしゃいじゃってずいぶん楽しそうだよね、軍隊なのに。
Alright, that part's going a bit far.
違うよ、あそこってお嬢様兵隊教室なんだって、陸軍の兄貴が言ってた。へえ、軍隊は武家子女のたしなみってこと？
I mean, I'm sure they do like work quite hard. However, they are like entirely removed from normal society.
アキ、声大きいってみんな見てるから。ああ、ごめん。でもさ、泉が。
Yep, pass the buck. Yep, making us all look bad. I'm fine. I've grown numb to the contempt of
知ってる
others.
か、高村って本当は不代武家じゃないんだってよ。
あいつの今の価格って汚いやり方で手に入れたらしいぞ。
普段真面目腐って口うるさいくせに結局嘘つきだったのかよ。
No matter the scorn piled upon me from other samurai houses, I've always been able to endure. So, this is no different. Oh darn, your rich people problems.
平和にぶら下がってるだけのくせに。
But couldn't those girls say the same thing about us? We're taking peace for granted too. 2 weeks have passed since I enrolled at the Yamayuri? Okay. Yamayuri's Girls Surface Pilot Academy. I was eager to learn in an environment alongside others who upheld the values of the samurai class, a welcome contrast to the normal junior high school I attended before. Nevertheless, I couldn't shake the feeling that we aren't living up to those lofty standards. And if I, a full-fledged member of the samurai class, feel this way, I can't begin to imagine how we must appear to the common people. Both the public and the media hold us in contempt, even at the best of times. Yeah, almost like living in a class-based society will naturally create friction and animosity between people, and that it's fucking stupid and sucks.
こっちは武家ってだけで女も召集されてんだ。同じ高校生なのにさ。でもあの子たち家族が大陸で戦ってるのかもしれないよ。
I mean, they probably do?
わかってるよ、島子。だからって私たちのこと花嫁修行だの習い事だのって。私聞いたことあるんだ。帝国軍の訓練校じゃ私たちのことそう言って。
Oh yeah, no, that's anybody who goes to like a fancy school. Like even in the regular military, if you go to like the academy, like, you know, I'm in the Air Force, so the Air Force Academy, people view you differently. You're kind of removed from normal society, and you get kind of like a warped viewpoint that's like kind of unrealistic. And it's like, okay, like you're kind of lost in the sauce, you know, kind of high on your own fumes type shit, which normal people trying to do their job and work don't really appreciate very much.
なんだよバカにして。ただの学生のくせに一体あいつら何様。
I mean, you're also just
ピ
students,
リ
but
ピリしてるんじゃないかな。今未婚女子の徴兵年齢再引き下げが検討されているでしょ。だから多分
Really? A single? You got a fucking cushy home front job waiting for you when they'd have to, you know, go fucking die in a trench. Yeah.
大陸配属もあり得る。不公平だって思うでしょうね。同じ高校生なのに。そうは言っても、帝国軍の若年女子兵は事務方、せいぜい後方任務じゃない。
I mean, once you start losing, you know, fucking 90% combat effectiveness on the front lines, they'll fucking put anybody there.
私たちは、もしベータが攻めてきたら、戦域の正面で戦うんだよ。
Yeah, and so would everybody available.
あいつらが私たち
If they're still
ずるいって
alive.
思うなら、お互い様だよ。
Because the front line gets here, that means the front line elsewhere has collapsed and everybody there's fucking dead. If the beta were to attack? If the beta came to Kyoto? It's ridiculous. What am I thinking? I need to get a hold of myself. Stressing about events that have yet to happen will only make everyone worry. I'm the only one here born to a Fudai family. It falls upon me to lead by example.
ねえ、そろそろ行かない？
I need to change the subject, and fast. A true leader doesn't wield their status as a hammer to bash the nails into position. Such heavy-handed methods would besmirch the name of House Takamura. No, lead by example, and people will follow.
早く行かないと、装甲剣道部の朝稽古、間に合わなくなるよ。
Armored Kendo Club's morning practice. What is this, fucking, Gunbuster? I was gonna say Die Buster, but I'm like, no, Die Buster's the sequel series.
あ、そうだった。せっかくいただいた見学の機会、遅れたら大変。だいたい今日はそのために早く集まったのに。まったく。
Unless Armored Kendo is just, you know, regular Kendo, but you're actually wearing, like, all the padding and stuff instead of just, you know, a regular gi.
また人のせいにして。あんたってほんと、部門の風上にも置けないわ。なんだと？もう、飽きったら。私たちも行こう。うん。
Oh, yep, just shuffle those sprites around.
ほんと、気楽でいいよね。
I'm willing to forgive it in the visual novel. I think it's fine, but you know, like when you're watching kind of a cheap anime and they don't actually have a walking cycle and they just kind of bounce the character in frame up and down and you can't see below the waist, so they're just kind of like going boop 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 boop, like a little fucking stick figure, or like a figure on a popsicle stick. That's what I meant.
ずいぶん楽しそうだよね。軍隊なのに。違うよ。あそこってお嬢様兵隊教室なんだって。軍隊は武家子女のたしなみってこと？それじゃあ花嫁修行だよ。
Oh, those clouds kind of popped in, kind of. Oh! The clouds are popping in. The filter's getting a little wonky. Those girls are entitled to their own opinions. Still, I can't deny most of the common folk probably look down on us. Duty is our birthright. From the moment we come into this world, we are fated to fight in the hosts of the Royal Guard and lay down our lives for the Empire, if need be. In exchange, we enjoy a certain degree of privilege. However, the public interprets these perks as the result of blatant favoritism. We're told that those who don't bear the burdens we do are our equals, and the media cast us as keepers of an anachronistic caste system. Yeah, because you are. It's unfair and it infuriates us. But the nobility and duties that we are born with keep us from even voicing our frustrations in public. I'm sure those Royal Guard cadets who glared at us earlier are just as conscious of the realities of our position as we are. Each new insult cuts like a keenly sharpened blade, and so we die a death by 1,000 cuts.
なんか
ごめんね、ゆい。朝から
どうしたの急に。
なんていうか私ちゃんとやれなくて。
Okay, but you still kind of like helped cause a scene, so you feel bad about that?
別に。やだな。なんで島子が謝るの？さっきのは仕方がないことだよ。
だって走行剣道の朝稽古が見たいって言ったのも、みんなで同じ部に入ろうって言い始めたのも私たちで、ゆいはそれに付き合っただけなのに。
何言ってるの？部活そろそろ決めなきゃいけないんだし、走行剣道部は私も興味あ
Yeah,
るし。
what are you going on about?
私たちゆいの部下なのに、さっきみたいなのってなんか自覚がないっていうか。
I mean, you're allowed to voice your opinion and offer, suggestions for things to do, even if you're a subordinate. It's just whether your, superior decides to go along with it or approve it.
やだな。部下だなんて教練上の仮編成じゃない。気にしてないよ。
でもそのせいであんな。
島子？
だってゆいは不代部家の、しかも次期当主なのに、戸様の私たちがあんなことに巻き込んで。
Hey, it's the new millennium, times change. Oh, so that's what's on her mind. Well, Shimiko cares a great deal about the inner workings of nobility. In particular, Shimiko is very concerned with upholding the hierarchy amongst noble houses, something rather unusual for a modern woman born from a Tozama family. Perhaps House Kai is strict when it comes to tradition? That might also explain why Shimiko has such a graceful and modest character. But even if that's the
ねえ
case,
島子。私たち同じ候補生でしょ？だから今はそういうのなしだよ。
yeah, if you want the military to function properly, you kind of need to put that shit on the back burner. Otherwise, it messes with like the internal affairs and functions of like unit cohesion. So, like, yeah, sure, cool. I'm from a like slightly higher status family, but also, fucking say your piece, so we don't like all die on accident because you felt you were, I don't know, stepping on my toes slightly because of class shenanigans. Like, no, thank you.
ゆい、
Also, you're in school. Calm down.
それにさっきみたいなのって私たちにはどうにもできないことだよ。だったら今は目の前のやるべきことをやるしかないじゃない。
目の前のやるべきこと。
Yeah, you're thinking too hard. You're like 16.
そう。私たちが一日でも早く一人前の英士になって自らの行動でこの絵軍の印象を変えていくしかないよ。
ゆいの言う通りだね。私たちが変えなきゃいけないんだよね。
それにさ、こうして投稿できるのも今のうちだし、どんなことでも勉強だと思えばいいんじゃない？
そういえばそうだね。
Yeah, there you
基
go.
礎訓練が終われば寮生活だし。
Dorm life. Like, what kind of dorm room? Like, sharing a room? You have your own room? Or are we doing like full-on barracks? Lines of bunks. In her eyes, Shimiko has failed me. I need to change the subject, or else she would only keep blaming
寮
herself.
生活か。いろいろ窮屈にはなるんだろうけど、それは
It
それ
is
で楽
nice.
し
I'll
み
be
だな。
honest. Sometimes I do miss living in a dormitory.
楽しみって？
だっていつもみんなと
Like
一緒にいられ
impromptu
るし、
movie nights and stuff. There's always something going
もし
on.
かしたらゆいと同じ部屋になるかもしれないでしょ。
ああ、そうだね。
I don't know, do you snore? Who knows? Maybe that will happen. It's a curious thing. Of all my fellow classmates, despite the myriad of personalities on display, I can only feel truly comfortable when I'm around Shimiko. Must be because we share views towards samurai tradition. We are all equals during our time at the training academy, regardless of our family status, and House Takamura has strict norms against abusing our prestige, so this has never been a problem from the start. Izumi and Aki's behavior might be completely at odds with the expectations of a member of a samurai family, but I'm honestly grateful they treat me like one of their own without hesitation. However, the Royal Guard as a whole is different. While individual ability matters a great deal, the rank of one's family, and in particular where you stand in comparison to other houses that can ascend to the shogunate, is of equal importance. The samurai rightful place lies within the vanguard, exemplifying leadership through noble deeds. Exalted office demands eminent virtue. Such words embody the traditional values of the samurai class, and the royal guard follows them to the letter. The more esteemed one's position is, the greater the responsibilities they must bear. Needless to say, the rules don't cease to apply when your counterpart is a commoner. Regardless of your family status, one must always strive to be an example to the rest of society. Such is the fate of those born as samurai. That's what I believed. That's what father and mother have taught me all these years. So, naturally, I assumed that's how all samurai would carry themselves. However, experience has taught me that there is a wide gulf between theory and practice. Yeah, it all sounds good on paper until, you see it in practice, like, oh, it's just people, abusing their position for financial gain and status and, essentially, like, living on super government welfare. Especially if it's still how, like, samurai, essentially, salaries were paid, before, like, the Meiji Restoration. Like, it was a huge part of government expenses. Because you get paid to do nothing, even when you're not at war and you don't really have any duties. It's just like, oh, you gotta maintain your privilege and your position, so you need a stipend in order to maintain your image, otherwise, no one will respect you, so here's your government handout. Where were we? Oh yeah. The lower the status of your family, the more this sense of duty and obligation weakens. I've seen this myself, more times than I can count, with my classmates in elementary and junior high. It seems to be most common amongst who've decided not to join the military. At some point, I decided to look the other way. Tolerating such a temporary relaxation of discipline seemed like a natural choice. What's the harm, since not every samurai is bound to join the royal guard? That's what I used to believe, but much to my displeasure, I was wrong. Even those who willingly serve seem to lack a proper awareness of their role. Amongst those who enlist, many have older siblings. Practically all of those low in the order of succession by reason of birth have only a faint awareness of what their born duty entails. No, these people are passive, lacking in any drive. All too often, they're aimless. The great majority of these people, like Aki or Izumi, drifting through life is what's considered normal. My expectations of Yamaura Girls Academy have fallen woefully short. I was hoping that a military academy would be stricter than compulsory education in terms of discipline. That was not to be. However, what was even more shocking was discovering that things I believed to be common sense were simply my own misunderstandings. Here, everyone is different from me. Or perhaps it would be more adequate to say that I'm different from everyone else. A female heir taking over a samurai house is rare enough in and of itself, especially when she doesn't have an older brother who gave his life for the country. However, I have long since accepted my fate, and I do not allow it to trouble me. Yet I must admit, no matter how much I try to reassure myself, unbearable doubt builds in my heart with each passing day. I could remedy this sense of isolation with only a word, but I refuse to use my family's status to bludgeon my ideals into those around me. Doing so would bring disgrace to the Takamura name. It's precisely because I was born in House Takamura that I must lead by example. Deeds, not words. For if I were to abuse my authority, I would be the same as those who have tarnished House Takamura with their baseless slander. Yeah, you're kind of staring intently into her soul right now. Yeah, you were kind of monologuing for a bit there. Just don't get it in your mouth. Blah. Actually, you have like a sake in my fridge that it's, sakura flavored and actually has, cherry blossom petals in it. And honestly, I don't like it very much. I highly dislike the petals in it. It's like a neat like visual thing. But when you're actually like trying to drink it and it's like sticking to your mouth and it's kind of like, wow. Like they've been soaked, so they're quite like mushy and thin, and they break apart easily. So it's not like you're eating grass, but it's a strange texture. I'm not sure I appreciate. That's why I always keep a brush and a comb on you. What, a jet engine? Cool.
8人式髄核端正なること折り鶴が如しとは昔のお偉いさんはうまいこと言ったものね
I'm sure that's like an actual quote based off of like what some I don't know who produces the fucking like F-16 production model in Japan. I think it's like a Yamaha or something. I don't know, probably a quote pulled based off of something they said in regards to their actual domestic production fighters.
確かにあのシャープなフォルム帝国軍の激震がベースとは思えないよね同じ第一世代機でも向こうは重装甲こっちは格闘戦を重視した運動性向上型だものお昨日並走回廊の座学でやったとこだじゃあ問題8人式の機種名
Not a clue
どういう意味が随長の体格めでたい前触れをもたらすツールでしょおお正解真面目にやってるじゃん島君
I'm sure I could get some of that info if I read the alternative like big honkin' fucking lore book that I got on Steam.
帝国初の国産機にして近衛軍専用極地防衛用戦
Yeah, I
術
thought
機
about doing like a
8
series
人
about
式
reading
戦
through
術
it
歩行戦闘機
and putting it on the
髄核
channel, but that thing's like 200 pages long. It would be fucking hell to do. And I don't know how exactly I would edit it or like record it properly. And be able to like zoom in on the pages for it to be legible for, people watching along.
すごいよねユイのお父様はあんなすごい機体を作っちゃうんだからうん髄核といい74式超刀といい私たちユイのお父様にはお世話になりっぱなしだね
Oh, they look a little jank when you just move them around like that, but... Thank you, Zuikaku. I was overcome by hesitation, but you showed up at just the right time. Almost as a reminder to come back to my senses. I'm sorry, Father. Please grant me a little more time. I promise you will see me wearing a Royal Guard surface pilot uniform. With your Zuikaku as my armor, I shall dash through the battlefield, proving myself worthy of defending the Empire. Everyone will be forced to recognize I deserve to become the head of House Takemura.
ああまただようっとりした目で見つめちゃって
Yeah, she has a bad habit of doing that. Real protagonist energy.
こうなっちゃうとユイなかなか帰ってこないからね仕方ないよユイはお父様を心から尊敬しているんだから
Actually, wouldn't mind being in a lecture hall like that. I like having the big long desk where you can like spread out your work materials instead of like just sitting in a regular desk with a little tiny fucking, well, a little sliver of wood to work on. Especially once you start getting up in the world. Our auditorium at base has seats like that. It's kind of like regular theater seats, but it has like a little wood thing you can flip up to like put out a notebook to write on. But the thing's like fucking 8 inches by a foot. It's like literally a little rectangle. I fucking hate it. But having like a big long desk to have is real nice. Yeah, 8 minutes, the average survival time.
それが実戦配属された新任兵士の初陣における平均生存時間だ。貴様たちはこの死の8分を乗り越えて初めて一発の兵士として帝国に、そして人類に貢献する機会を得る。いいか、もう一度言っておく。貴様たちの敵は人類が初めて遭遇した異星起源種だ。奴らにはあらゆる言語もルールも通じない。その行動原理、侵略目的、その一切が未だ不明である。
To harvest your carbon.
すなわちこの戦争は人類とベータ、その
I fucking love
いずれか
charcoal.
が絶滅するまで終わることはない。
ねえねえ、今日はどうする？よかったら伊勢丹行かない？ちょっと探したいものがあってさ。また？ごめん、今日はパスしていい？京都駅まで出る元気ない。なんだよ、彼氏のお迎えなら毎日でも行くくせに。そんなの当然じゃない。まあとにかく今日はかなり寝不足だから勘弁してよ。
Is that why you look like you're about to fucking pass out in class?
ああ、また長電話しちゃったとか？うん、まあね。その上朝練の見学で早起きしたし、今晩も話す約束だからさ、体力温存したくって。ちょっと二人ともやめなさいよ。
They don't want to start scribbling down your conversation on my notes by
なん
accident.
だよ、青春しちゃってさ、友情より彼氏取るのかよ。そんなんじゃないから。もう子供みたいなこと言わないでよ。あ、今なんで胸見た？子供ってことか？子供ってことか
I mean, they're decently sized, so I don't know what you're feeling insecure about.
実は彼の部隊、来週九州へ移動することになったんだって。博多に新設された陸軍基地らしいんだけど。博多か。対馬の海峡防衛線を支える帝国軍の最重要拠点だし、炎の出番なんてなんだろう。なんで基地なんか作ってんだろう。
I mean, to hold down the
そ
fort?
んなの私たちに分かるわけない
If
よ。
it's really important, it makes sense that you'd put some important units there.
まあとにかくそういう事情で急に一時帰宅許可が出たんだって。でも昼間は会えないからさ、普段電話できない分つい長くなっちゃうのよ。じゃあもうすぐ遠距離交際だ。そりゃ毎日長電話もするわ。今から練習しとかないと。
Yeah,
別に練習
in one of
って
those
わ
right
けじゃ
now.
ないよ。お互いなんとなく不安なだけ。最近どこも慌ただしいんだって。
Not the rough patch, though. That sucks for you. Things are going swimmingly for me.
大丈夫だよ。九州は去年全島疎開令が出てるんだから、変な女がつくこともないし。あなたたち今は講義中よ。ちゃんと集中して。何言ってんだよユイ。泉の恋が崩壊の危機に直
Who
面してんだよ。
cares?
なんでそうなる
Saying
の
this
よ。
shoujo manga. Jeez, enough
席
already.
次番号19番。
はい、教官殿。
高村か。ほう。高村候補生、不代の名門でに平民である俺の講義はいささか退屈すぎたか？あ？聞く価値は。
教官殿。
だったら続きを言ってみろ。当然。
Yeah, I
俺
know,
の質問も
I know.
聞いてくれていた
Not
の？
really. I could hear you in the background, but
教官殿。それは。
バカ者。
42.
貴様が口にしていいのは、はい、いいえ、教官殿、質問の答え、この4つだ。
ごめんユイ。Beings of the extraterrestrial origin,
Oof.
which is adversary of human race.
Yamashiro-san. With the pretty rough English.
人類に敵対的な異星起源種という国連呼称です。
I recognize your voice, though.
貴様。山城上総候補生。
Speaking when not spoken to?
貴
Yikes.
様、許可なく発言するとはいい度胸だな。
いいえ、度胸の問題ではありません。合理性と効率の問題です、教官殿。
Oh god, her voice actress. It's fucking tickling the tip of my brain. Like I can hear it. I can hear like a haughty ho. Let me hear it again.
発言を許可する。説明しろ。
は、私たちに与えられた時間は限られています。
Oh god, it's fucking
1秒でも無駄にしたくありません。
It's Tosaka Rin, that's why.
訓練部隊全体
Whatever her voice actress's name is.
両立を図りました。
I'll recognize as soon as I see it. I'm terrible at remembering voice actors' names. Voice played by? There we go. Kana Ueda? That sounds right. Let me check the little character sheet to see if I'm right. VNDB or something. Or IMDb? Or let me check Mal. Mal I'd probably be able to find it quicker. Let me scoot over to Muv-Luv down here. Goddamn fucking 1,000 rolls. Probably a bunch of other stuff too, but that's the one that, sticks in my mind most immediately. Watch me be wrong and just be entirely embarrassed by it. Nope, I was right. The way she thinks. Maybe Yamashiro is a kindred spirit. I don't know, let me check that again, because I was, spacing out and didn't actually read what she said. Time is a pressing issue. We don't have 1 second time to waste. I decided to answer your question unprompted, since doing so would benefit the entire unit, and Very cool. And the way she always glares at me.
全体利益と互助とは恐れ入った。よし。では存分に助け合ってもらおうか。高村並びに山城。貴様らの正体は本日の全教練終了後、グラウンド20周。
How big is the track?
はい、教官殿。
Because if it's a quarter mile, that's fucking rough.
連帯責任だ。分かったか、バカ者ども。
はい、教官殿。
全員座れ。講義を続ける。
Several minutes later, in the courtyard. It's a nice little courtyard, though.
なんか嫌な感じだよな。
I mean, you're the ones who were talking in his class.
ああ、山城さん？何が合理性だよ。
Oh, her.
全体効
They're
率と
talking about the
互助
teach.。
劣等生に足引っ張られたくないってのが見え見えじゃない。あら意外。あんた劣等生の自覚あるんだ。言葉のあやだよ、あや。まったくどっちの味方なんだよ、泉は。
I mean, is she wrong?
確かにあのトゲトゲしさは気になるけど、敵とか味方って言い過ぎじゃない？でもさ、山城さん以前に元はといえば秋と泉の死後が原因なんだ
Yeah,
から。
the entire thing's kind of your fault to begin with, so...
ごめん、ほんとごめんね。
やめてよ二人とも。さっきも謝ってくれたじゃない。
Yeah, if you're really sorry about it, just stop fucking talking in class about, your boy problems.
だいたい質問聞いてなかったのは私なんだし、謝るのはこっちだよ。
あーもうゆいはなんていい子なんだ。あの合理性一辺倒の冷血女も少しは見習えってのよ。
やめないわ、アキ。人のことそんな風に言うの。
やめないよ。思ったことを正直に言ってるだけだもん。
I mean, you don't seem like you have much awareness, though, so your point of view is pretty restricted.
ゆいに張り合おうとするところとか。
そんなことないよ。
I mean, that's fine. Even if it's, a rivalry, that doesn't mean it's, there's no, antagonism in it.
それ気づいていないの。
It doesn't have to be based off animosity. That's what I was thinking of.
もう島子まで。
Of course I've realized. After enduring the animosity of my peers my whole life, there's no way I can miss it. However, at a Royal Guard training academy like this, overt discrimination is not tolerated. So when Yamashiro-san is the only one going out of her way to glare at me with such ferocity, I can't help but notice. I mean, it just goes to show how serious she is about everything. Still, I've barely had any interaction with her beyond some banal small talk. Even if she sets her crosshairs on me, her enmity cannot be personal. You know, you could just go talk to her about it, being like, hey, I noticed you're like really serious and you kind of stare at me a lot. Like, is there like a thing going on? You know, like, what's up? You can just ask people these things, you know. You don't have to like beat around the bush and like be non-confrontational, but I guess that's, you know, part of your inbred Japanese character is not being confrontational. Can't stop thinking of that piercing glare. Her eyes are not full of hatred, contempt, or ill will. I know that because I've been on the receiving end of such emotions countless times.
ちょっとユイ、何もそこまで思い詰めなくても。
そうなんだけど。
I doubt her animosity is motivated by personal reasons, or by jealousy over her family's lower rank in the samurai hierarchy.
普段真面目腐って口うるさいくせに結局嘘つきだったのかよ。
Oh, in that case, it could only be one thing. I thought that was like all the voices talking, saying that, but...
ほら、ユイじゃなくてさ、何か他のことが原因なのかもよ。ねえ、アキ。ああ、そうそう。例えば、家柄コンプレックスとか
Methinks not.
どうかな。山城家って言えばお金持ちっていうか事業なんかでかなり手広くやって成功してるイメージ。
Maybe one day that will be me. Because, not to brag, but I am pretty set up to be pretty well off once I retire. My, like, retirement investments are really good, and if they keep going at this rate, I will be, like, a multi-millionaire in, like, 30 years. So that's pretty sick. Pretty hands-off, too. Plus, I'm in the will to get the properties, you know, when things happen and, you know, my parents are no longer around, they'll be going to me, so that plus some other properties that I'll be able to accrue in the meantime, like pretty good generational wealth growth. Woo!
うちみたいな貧乏武家ならともかく、あんな裕福で合理的な人が家柄にコンプレックスなんて持つかな。でもさ、たまにニュースで見るけど、新興財閥系武家とか言われてるし。
Oh god, Saibatsus.
あれって完全に皮肉じゃない。そういうのって結構答えるんじゃないの？
I mean, yeah, Zaibatsus are like government-approved monopolies, so everybody's trying to cheer me up. I know that. But when Aki and the others gossip about House Yamashiro like this, they're doing to her exactly what's been done to me. Salacious rumors are certain to gain traction and take on a life of their own. Those who bear us ill will are bound to simply assume the worst and never bother to find out the truth.
でも、山城家は部に長じた家柄でもあるよ。召喚や英士をたくさん出してて、外様の中では上位を争うほどだし、そんな皮肉ぐらいで。なるほど、だからか。やっぱりそうだよ。部も名誉も富もある。だけど価格だけがない。だから由緒ある不大武家のお嬢には思うところがあるってわけ。
I mean, that's one angle to view it from. Like, I doubt it's her personal, you know, take on the matter, but what am I even doing? Neither I nor House Takamura have anything to be ashamed of. I have no reason to shy away from who I am and walk around with this misplaced sense of guilt. To make matters worse, Aki, my subordinate, is trying to cover for my insecurities by freely slandering House Yamashiro, which bears no fault at all. How craven I am. It's unacceptable. I must put an end to this at once.
どうなんだろう。由緒あるって言っても、高村だってもともとは外様なのに。
そう だ。
知らなかったわ。
戸様から不代って。でも今の価格って関ヶ原で固定化したんじゃ。
歴史で習ったでしょ。明治から全大戦中期にかけて武家制度が混乱したって。その時に価格替えされたんだって。
Yep, weird Muv-Luv alt history stuff, which, I'll be honest, I don't pay that much attention to. Because a lot of it's cope. It's like, oh, we didn't lose World War II. No, we locked the fuck in and we got it to a draw. You know, glorious Nippon. Because like the original Muv-Luv scriptwriter is, or was at least, a bit of a Japanese nationalist. So that's interesting. It'd be pointless to try and hide it. A little research would be enough to uncover the truth. Besides, if this is enough to change their attitude towards me, then we have no hope as a team. May as well get this over with.
そんなことが本当にあったんだね。ゆい、あんた生きてる歴史だね。
でもさ、それってなんで許されたの？いくら混乱してたって結構希少価値だよね。
I mean, probably.
価格替え。
The whole point of having like a hereditary hierarchy system in place is that you don't change your hierarchy, your place in it.
代々武器こしらえの勲功で江戸城三代を許されていたことが大きかったらしいよ。でも本当は引き止めだろうって父が。
引き止めってどういうこと？
兵器開発にた
Oh, sorry, there's a bit of lag there, so it didn't
固定
didn't
化した
actually
価
play.
格制度や
兵器開発に長けた家を近衛に留めるためだよ。当時廃化して民間で起業する技官系の外様は多かったって。
leaving behind the so-called deserted house that would ultimately be abolished. I see, I see. Oh, right, we covered that in history class. Many went and carved out their own path among the common people because they didn't like being held back by family rank or the military.
なんか急に歴史がいろいろ分かってきたね。ゆいの話で身近に感じるからかな。
Nobody has changed their attitude towards me, at least not for the moment. Will tomorrow be the day they turn? Or will it happen further down the road, perhaps? Well, it's all fine by me. Don't intend to divert attention away from my own history by looking down on others.
じゃあさ、山城家は武家にとどまった上でここまで頑張ったってことか。
武家の商業参入全面解禁は敗戦後の規制緩和以降だもんね。
そうだよ。それは山城家が誇り高い武家だって証じゃないかな。だから私は山城さんの言動に何か含むところがあるなんて思えない。切磋琢磨は部門の本分。家柄なんて関係ないし、ここでは何の意味も持たないよ。
At least, that's what I think. What I want to think.
度胸の問題ではありません。合理性と効率の問題です。教官殿。私たちに与えられた時間は限られています。1秒でも無駄にしたくありません。したがって、訓練部隊全体の利と互助精神の両立を図りました。
It just seems like she's a real one who kind of sees everything for what it really is, you know, behind the veneer of peace. Like, we are in a dire fucking position. We can't be fucking lollygagging around, pussyfooting. Like, society needs to lock the fuck in. Yamashiro-san is fully capable of eloquently presenting her thoughts, to the point of risking the instructor's anger. So I can't imagine she would be motivated by some misplaced sense of pride. And while that frigid glare of hers was full of condescension, I could feel no trace of actual malice in it. Admittedly, I don't know the first thing about her, but Yamashiro-san hardly seems like the shallow type. Yeah, she's looking at you like you need to step up and lock the fuck in.
でもさ、だったらなおさら不愉
Like,
快なの。
pull your weight.
だって戦後の規制緩和って逆に言えば価格を完全に固定化しちゃったわけだしさ。
What do you mean?
ああ、そっか。価格替えって抜け道もう使えないしね。
Yes, Izumi is right. Trying to explain Yamashiro-san's actions without the perspective of someone from a Tozama family was an exercise in futility. I was simply engaging in wishful thinking, deluding myself into accepting what I wanted to be true. No matter, I stand by my beliefs. My respect towards Yamashiro-san and House Yamashiro remains unchanged. At least one thing has become clear to me from our conversation. House Yamashiro has endured unjust treatment from their peers, the same as House Takamura. In fact, it's possible they've suffered worse hardships as they worked to establish the position they enjoy today.
それにしてもさ、泉、あんた意外に歴史詳しいんだね。びっくりしたよ。
アキ、あんたも武家の娘なんだから、せめて自分たちの歴史ぐらい少しはさ。
いいんだよ。
Yeah, she's probably like a fucking sixth child or something. Like, God, all that shit's so far away. I'm never gonna fucking inherit anything. What's the point?
ほんと、この絵の自覚ゼロだよね。はあ、ますます自信なくなるよ。もう、またそれやめてよ、今朝みたいな大騒ぎは。君と二人で、思い出のあの場所に行きたい。君の優しい微笑みが。
Yep, good song. Or was that like a love poem?
君の優しい微笑みが柔らかい君の手のひらが僕の
You're kind of reading it like it's like a no play. Maybe like an enka.
なんであんたがもう二人とも騒がないでって言ったのにおかしい
Yep, good reaction. You know, successfully rage baited.
本当にもう。それ一体何なの？
ラブレターだよ。前にさ、泉がうっとりして読んでたや
つ。ちょっとアキ、悪趣味だよ。
Yeah.
人の手紙読むなんて。
Tampering with mail is literally a felony.
衝撃
So,
悪いな。
I don't know, in Japan. It seems like they'd be really strict about that over there
話し
too.
かけた時そこだけ見えちゃったの。
Ah, you were just leaning over her shoulder. And now that she mentions it, I've seen Izumi reading several letters recently with a big smile on her
あ
face.
の時だって何度読んでも上の空でさ。ま、それにしてもいい名付けの彼と文通なんて雅だね。
うるさいな。大きなお世話よ。
Oh, so it was a love letter. You're so mature, Izumi. Though if you ask me, I think it would be prudent to read these sorts of letters in private. I could never do that.
彼新兵だから電話一つするにも周りに気を使うんだって。だから手紙が一番なのよ。
Oh yeah, he would get ribbed to hell and back if he fucking like said something like that in like the communal phone booth area. Because this is the 90s. Probably just like payphones on the wall that you go to and everybody else is there. And they'd be like, yo, what the fuck? Oh, control panel. I never even clicked that.
堂々とかければいいじゃん。いくら PX の公衆電話って言ったってさ、恥ずかしがってる場合？
Yeah, post exchange. It's the Walmart on base.
順番待ちが毎日すごいんだって。ほら、この絵軍ずっと増員でしょ。電話の台数も多くないみたいだし。
なんかケチくさくない？
Yeah, but they suck because you can't even put coins in them. You gotta go get like a time card from the... Well, I guess for them it would be a PX. For us it would be the BX. Though, you know, with the advancements in cell phones, that's not a thing anymore. They've like even ripped out all the payphones at basic training. They just give you your cell phone back to make your phone calls, and then they take it back again. At least I think that's how they do it. Though, in the army, it seems like they just let you keep your cell phone, which is fucking wild to me. But yeah. You used to have to go and get like a card with a certain amount of minutes preloaded to it that you swipe, and then the payphone will use it. And it was fucking nonsense. That just sucked.
本当だよね。
I can certainly sympathize with their point of view. But in the large scheme of things, a lack of phones for personal use is rather a trivial matter. They don't have to make it sound like such a travesty.
ほんと気楽でいいよね。武家のお嬢様方はさ、ずいぶん楽しそうだよね。軍隊なのに。
違うよ。あそこってお嬢様兵隊教室なんだって。
軍隊は武家子女のたしなみってこと？それじゃ花嫁修行だよ。
あいつらなんだよあの言い草。平和にぶら下がってるだけのくせに。
No, maybe it is a travesty. Aki has a point. Forget phones. Shouldn't we be allowed to live a normal life in general? However, the moment we voice our desires to society, we cease to be samurai.
ごちそうさまでした。お腹いっぱいで幸せ。
Oh, you're eating right before working out? You're fucking insane.
何よあんた。未来に生きるんでしょ？I
just get like really nauseous during like extreme like physical exercise. So like even just in general, my body just does that. I've talked to the doctor about it and they're just like, yeah, there's not really anything we can do. We can give you like anti-nausea medicine, but you're always just gonna have to deal with that. So I'm like, fuck. Like it's not like a gastrointestinal issue. They're just like, yeah, some people just kind of get that as a symptom from like exertion. I'm like, that sucks. So if I eat before working out, like, bro, I will be fucking puking. The comprehensive combat skill evaluation. The second hurdle we must overcome to become surface pilots.
ちょっと聞いてるの？走行剣術にあんたの未来がかかってるのよ。それとこれとは別。満腹イコール眠気。
Armored fencing holds significant practical value. It might even be key to our success in the evaluation. However, despite our morning visit to the armored kendo practice session, not one of us has suggested that we consider joining the club. What should I do? Oh, I actually get choices here. Though, they're all the same. Think about the Armored Kendo Club, think about armored fencing. Sure. Think about the CCSE.
この英軍の英士適性が要求する身体能力は帝国軍の規定よりも高い。それはなぜか、貴様。はっ、
この意には生まれながらに負う明白なる責務があるからです。
なるほど。では明白なる責務とは何だ、貴様。はっ、この意に連なる者、あまねく兵の反たれ。戦場においては先人にあり、退く際にはしんがりを務めな
I'm
い。
starting to feel that pressure now. Now that I'm in like a leader position, it's like, oh, I really got to get slimmed down again. I can't be the fucking fat sergeant telling you all to like exercise and like be fit and ready to go while I'm fucking struggling. Fortunately, it seems to be going good. I'm trying to get back down to like 170-ish.
したがって貴様ら武家子女の義務教育機関には陸軍の新兵錬成訓練をベースとした体育カリキュラムが取り入れられている。
The new 2-mile run that they're implementing is gonna fucking blow. I've always been bad at
今
running.
ここにいるのはその中から適正順で選抜され、この英軍
You know,
正規
due
衛
to
士への
the
第一
nausea
関
thing I
門、
was talking about.
この
Trying to run while you're
伝
nauseous
統
and
あ
then
る
puking and then
山
having
ゆ
to
り
run
女
some
子
more.
英士訓練学校に
It's rough.
めでたく合格した者たちだ。だが安心するな。同学年の女学生に比べ貴様らのアドバンテージは決して大きくないぞ。帝国軍英士採用水準のたかが6割を満たしたに過ぎない。これが国民の血税を使い義務教育9年間にわたる高下駄を履かしてもらった結果だ。
Damn, 9 years? Fuck.
たかがって正規英士採用水準の 60% なら十分すごいじゃんか。秋
それは何のためだったか。英士訓練校における基礎訓練期間を圧縮し、実践的実技教練への早期移行を実現するためだ。したがって貴様らは今日から6週間の初等教練で 走行剣術の基礎を完全に習得しなければならない。
Alright.
そして5月に行われる総選部、すなわち総合戦闘武術評価試験において、貴様らは学科実技問わず初等教練すべての習熟度を測られる。
Yeah, it's lots of fun.
特に基礎走行剣術
Especially when
は
you time
総
travel
選
and
部
you
の
know
中で最も重視さ
all
れ
the
る評
tests
価
ahead
教
of
練だ。
time, so you can kind of cheat.
だが勘違いするな。総選部は競技じゃない。勝ち負けが全てではないぞ。初等訓練で重視される一個小隊4名の連携意識、その連動、個人の資質や将来性などが評価対象になる。
Yep. If you got one, big hitter who just does everything, you'll probably fail.
何言ってんだよ。各項目の評価が高い小隊が結局勝つに決まってるじゃん。ちょっとやめてよ。
Because this ain't the movies. There's no, like, big fucking hero.
特に重要なのは小隊連携の意識と制度だ。なぜかわかるか、貴様。
はっ、戦術機は2個エレメント、つまり小隊による作戦行動を基本とするからです。
つまりそれはどういうことだ。答えろ。
はっ、その
解釈の余地があるものは上官に対する答えにならんと肝に銘じろ。その小さな脳みそ内で最低3回掘り下げ、それ以上解釈しようのないものに磨き上げるんだ。
はい、教官殿。
では貴様、答えろ。
はっ、小隊連携技能の向上が英士の延命に直結するからです。
その通りだ。英士の延命は戦力の維持を意味する。小隊の連携能力の
Got
向
that
上は
multiplicative
部隊
effect.
戦線に、方面軍に、ひいては帝国、人類全体に益するんだ。
Operate alone, you're just gonna get munched.
還元するなら貴様ら個
You're
々の
working
能
a
力
team,
向
you
上
know.
が
Then you can start
全
like
人
doing
類の戦況を
formations,
左
covering
右
each
する
other's
に
flanks
等し
and
いと
weak
いうこと
points
だ。
and all that.
国民の血税をガブ飲みして育成された近衛軍英士はたった8分で地獄から退場するなどという楽隠居は絶対に許されないです
Yeah,
ね。
that's fucking embarrassing.
教官殿、さてこの実戦適性を図る正規衛士への第二関門を突破すれば、貴様らは晴れて中等教練課程への移行が許される。つまり戦術機教習が始まるということだ。
Yeah, and once you've proven you got the gumption, then you can actually start learning to fucking pilot those things.
二刀流や小銃運用を含む中隊規模の応用走行剣術協定、シミュレーターあるいは実機による操縦訓練、
Cool.
機体構造を把握するための整備実習などを通じ、より実践的な技能を習得していくことになる。だがそれはあくまで総選部を突破できた者だけが手にする資格だ。
But maintenance lessons, oh god forbid a fucking pilot get their hands dirty trying to fix the most
4週
basic
間後の
fucking
追試に
thing
合格しなけれ
on
ば
an airframe.
天下処分となる。喜んでいいぞ。その場合
All they know how to do is fucking spill Coke and fucking Doritos in the center consoles, and you gotta change them because they fried the computers.
もう一ついいことを教えておいてやる。私たち教官は貴様らを育て上げ一発の英士にするために存在するのではないぞ。ミス、油断、
Yep.
その他クソったれな理由で自分が死ぬばかり
Separate the wheat from the chaff.
戦友を巻き添えにして殺す脳なしどもを徹底的にあぶり出す。人間とベータと泥と糞尿をミキサーにかけてぶちまけた戦場にクソ重い強化外骨格を担いだまま食い殺されるまで這いつくばりたくなかったら死に物狂いでやれ。いいな。はい、教官殿。
Yeah, being a grunt sucks. Passing the comprehensive exam is a matter of life and death for us, in every sense of the word. Even so, that's not our ultimate goal. How could it be, when the intermediate course is the real starting point for a surface pilot cadet? Well, I shouldn't get ahead of myself. Teamwork carries significant weight within the CCSC, and unfortunately, we have our work cut out for us. Not only do we need to cement our cohesion as a group, But we must also improve our fighting skills. Considering the topic hasn't been brought up since this morning, safe to assume all interest in joining the Armored Kendo Club has dissipated. Know everyone well enough to understand bringing it up again would be pointless. That's kind of where your thing as a leader is like, yeah, I know, it fucking sucks. We got to go do training, though. So, as, big dog, I am the one directing us to mandatory, 5 a.m. fucking Armored Kendo practice. Be the best of the best. Let's go. Here, no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, if you don't want to do it, cool, you can fucking, drop out now. It's fine. We'll get someone else who actually fucking wants to be here in the unit. Like, man the fuck up, Yui! Right now, all we can do is figure out how to do things in our own way.
どうしたのユイなんか深刻な顔しちゃって
Like, you can offer the carrot all you want, but if there's fucking no stick behind it, people are just gonna do whatever. Gotta lay down the law.
斉藤助教がしてくれた操船部の話ちょっと思い出しちゃって
ああ初めての装甲剣術教練のやつ
なんか機械化歩兵化の話で散々脅かされたよね気持ち悪いの思い出しちゃった
死体と死骸のスープに食い殺されるまでツップスってやつね結局兵士になってもパワーアウトすれば同じ運命だとか言ってさもう最悪もうあんな過去の重い話忘れようよ私たちは未来に向いて生きようぜ
未来って言えば放課後にはグラウンド20周もあるの忘れないでね
Yeah, that's rough. Cardio sucks. I've been hitting the Stairmaster recently. And, Stairmaster, it's like, oh, that's the thing, like, fucking moms do. Like, whatever. But, like, you go on the Stairmaster and you go at a decent pace, like, it's fucking brutal. Like, after 20, 30 minutes, you're dying. It's fairly low impact, so it's good for me, because I get shin splints really easily because of my flat feet from, running. But, oh my god. What a fucking workout.
入学以来どの教官も同じような話何回もするし
教官はみんな実践経験がある方ばかりよ教科に関係なく同じことを言うならそれだけ大切だってことでしょ
Yep.
ユイの言う通りだよ生き残った人の言葉なんだし
It's not just unk rambling to bore you.
その通りだよシマ子生き残るための戦訓なら余計別の話も聞きたいと思わないか
そりゃそうだけど
Well, it's because even if they taught you that stuff, you're not ready to, implement it or, retain it, so there's no fucking point.
戦術機のやつもともと帝国軍でしょ
It's like trying to build a skyscraper with a weak foundation. It's just gonna topple over, We are trying to get you to the bare bone basics right now. But you're trying to, do fucking fighter pilot shit. It's like, nah, dawg, you ain't ready. You ain't built for this. They're building you up so you're ready for it.
どれだけ想像力豊かなのよいくらなんでもそれはないでしょ
Also, the text is still being a little weird. Like, if you look below the B, there's, some weird artifacting. I don't know what it is. Something about, this engine and the text font they've been using. Even in, a Total Eclipse, I remember seeing that. There's some weird, artifacting in, the text boxes.
果たしてそうかな
I don't know what caused it, and there's nothing I can do to fix it.
何を
It's fairly minor, but now that I pointed it out, you'll never not be able to see it when it's there.
疑似生体治療があるのにこれ見よがしに眼帯なんかして怪しくない今時威圧にもならないのにさまあそれは思わないでもないけどさすがにね
I mean, but to be an instructor, you need to be, really good to begin with.
私の予想ではあれ伊達眼帯だよ大陸での負傷は本当だろうけどとっくに疑似生体の目が入ってるってはいはい分かったから怪しい
そうなのかな確かにあの眼帯は私たちに戦場の現実を実感させる意図もあると思うでも次回のために疑似生体療法を使わない人だっているよ
Yeah, and so you look cool as fuck.
真田教官にも何か事情があるんじゃないかな少なくとも 訓練校にいる間はそのままでいいよって思う理由が。
そういうもんなのかな。
Yeah, that it's like your penance to fucking have this like disability or injury. You know, your own little personal cross to bear. Oh, even more minutes later.
それまで下がれ。レイ。
ありがとうございました。
たく教官分隊無敵すぎ。相変わ
Fucking
らず
training
容赦ないわ。
suits.
特に真田斎藤分隊はね、初日の連携時稽古もあのペアにズタボロにされたし。
Almost like you should practice more.
教官から一本取ってやれんだろう。早く吠え面書かせてやりたいよ。
じゃあ走行剣道部もう一度考えて
Yeah, you know,
教官倒すなら
almost like if you practice, you get better. And if you don't do anything, you're not gonna get better.
それはそれ、これはこれ。もう。
Yeah, that is that, this is this.
それにしても2人に4人がかりで訓練とかすりもしないってさ、ほんと笑うしかないわよね。
頭数以外全てを取っているんだし、初等教練は候補生が負けるのが大前提なのよ。
なんだよそれ、ほんと腹が立つな。
I mean, yeah, you're the students,
敗
you
北っ
suck.
ていう経験から学べってことだよ。それが自分であれ他人のものであれ。
だから待機組はこうやって見取り稽古してるんだよね。
でも負けて学ぶっていうのはただの教練方針だよ。私たちが勝っちゃいけないって規則じゃない。
Well, yeah, it's just like reviewing, you know, tapes after a game, you know, to see where you fucked up. Or even like, you know, something I've done because, you know, I play golf, is you set up your phone on a tripod and, you know, you record your swing and then you look at it afterwards to see where you're fucking up. Because when you're doing it, you can't quite tell, but once you get like an omniscient, you know, third point view, you kind of able to get a better idea about what's actually going on there.
さすがゆい、いいこと言うわ。じゃあここで問題です。あの C 小隊の陣形は何でしょうか。
ウェッジワンかな。
正解は
ウェッジ2だよ。
ブブー、惜しい。しまこ残念。
Yeah, wedge is a
残
wedge.
念なのはあんたでしょ。
始め。
それにしてもさ、走行剣道部に比べるとやっぱり素人丸出しだね。
Yeah,
私ら
almost like you should practice.
仕方ないよ。私たちついこの間始めたばかりなんだから。
だいたい双剣部の先輩方と比べること自体無意味よ。あっちは入校以来教練のコマ数と朝夕の部活をみっちり積み上げてるんだから。でもさ、いくら私たちが自分たちなりに強くなろうと思ってもさ、基本の方以外何にも教えてくれないのってどうなの？
Then go out and seek that knowledge yourself.
それは前に教官が言ったよね。困難を自力で克服する訓練なんだって。
実践形式を重視し、臨機応変な応用力を養う。つまり経験から学び、見て盗んで、自分の頭で考えろってことよ。
I.e. go be an independent fucking person and stop waiting for everything to be delivered to you on a silver
で
platter.
もさ、あれだけ連携って言われると、そっちのこともちゃんと教えてよって思うわ。確かにね。せめて自稽古終わりに欠点の指摘やアドバイスくらい
Okay, the
してくれ
feedback
るの
though
ね。
is like really important. Otherwise, you're just like beating them up and they don't learn anything from it. You need to have like the reflection and like feedback portion.
でしょ？まったく、総選部まであと6週間だってのにさ。まああんたはさ、他の実技や筆記試験の心配もし
Because
た
if they
方
don't
が
know what
い
they're
いと
doing
思う
wrong,
け
they're
ど
never
ね。
going to be able to fix it and grow. Aki and Izumi are bickering like always, but despite their squabbling, their eyes remain glued to the ongoing kendo drills. It's a sign they're keenly aware of how important armored fencing is to our overall evaluation. This one course will decide our future.
総合戦闘武術評価試験、いわゆる総選部は貴様らの実践的英士適性を測る第二関門だ。そこで初等基礎訓練の成果を発揮できなければ再教育課程を送り、最悪転科
At
処
least there's a
分になる。
remedial course. Yeah. There's like a washback process instead of just getting immediately kicked
そ
out.
の評価項目中、最も多くの配点を占めるのが招待隊員の装甲剣術技能検定だ。
Every single student in this school comes from a noble samurai family. Despite this, we didn't make it into Yamuyura by virtue of our birth. There were several barriers we had to overcome. Thus, we understand what it means to be found unfit to serve as a surface pilot. The instructors are overwhelmingly strong, and at this early stage, defeat is the natural outcome. But while frustration is palpable in the air, our eyes glimmer with determination as well.
白一本それまで下がれ。
また制限時間前に教官分隊の干渉だよ。
たった8分なのに候補生が最後までフィールドに残ってたこと一度もないよね。
でも惜しかったよ C 招待。あと2分持ちこたえたら判定負けに持ち込めた。
Like, 2 minutes is a really fucking long time in a fight, though. Like, if you've ever, like, grappled or, like, sparred or anything, like, going full tilt, like, going for 8 minutes is fucking wild. You would be so tired. Izumi picked a strange way to say it, but her words hint at a critical point. Cadet squads tend to lose by complete wipeout. Not a single squad thus far has survived long enough to lose by decision. Still, we don't intend to run out the clock. Our goal is to defeat the
作
instructors.
戦確認しておこう。フォーメーションはウイング1、右翼は私と島子、真田教官をマーク、左翼は秋と泉、斉藤助教をマーク。開始の号令で駆け足。
体型は維持したまま弧を描いて前進。教官分隊を左右から包み込むように展開する。戦術機と斉藤助教を背中合わせにさせて連携を分断する。2対1の個別状況を作ったと思わせておいてから全員一斉に切りかかる。おとりの私が助教に仕留められている隙に秋が真田の背後右四角から切りかかる。
Okay,
私
okay.
と結衣は
Makes
正
sense.
面左右から
And then you can do a 3-on-1 gang up, you know,
真田教
assuming
官を討ち取る。
that you haven't got wiped out in the meantime. Then it could be a 4-on-1, which would be nice. I mean, it's not going to work out that well, but the point here isn't for you to beat them. It's they're like testing and training your, you know, decision-making, formation planning, you know, thinking on the fly type shit.
いよいよ私たちの番だね。
大丈夫。作戦通りにやればうまくいくよ。
Seeing how well you can think and formulate plans.
よーし、今日こそ一矢報いてやる。あまり張り切りすぎると放課後
Problem solving. There we go.
きついわよ。
D 招待おかっちませ。
かしこ
よし、行
Just
こう。
like lacrosse.
互いに礼。位置につけ。
All right, let's see how it goes. See how your plan fucking falls apart as soon as you contact the enemy. The instructors practically dance around the field, leaving no room for blind spots. Good, just like that. All right, let's see how it goes. Everything is going going according to plan so far. But the moment we let our poker faces slip, it's over. Words are hard. Instructor Sanada is our priority target. Might be missing an eye, but the man easily outclasses the rest of the teaching staff. That's why the 3 squads before us aimed for Instructor Saito instead. Striking at an enemy's weak point is common sense. However, when everybody adopts the same strategy, common sense will only take you so far. Besides, Instructor Saito is a formidable swordswoman, in her own right. Hardly what you would consider a weak link, so we had to think outside the box. Well, it's not quite right, since the instructors expect us to focus our efforts on bringing down their perceived weak link. Common sense, in this case, dictates we should betray their expectations. Yeah, you got to do like a double, triple negative. Now. Yeah, you guys are still getting got. Like, wipe the fuck out, but, you know, thumbs up, good effort. Like, they're like, yep, you thought about this one. It didn't work out, but, you know, we like what you were trying. They saw through us? God damn it. We need to do something or we'll lose. Too close. That was too close. I think that's all he needed to break my stance. Well, he is like twice your size with like twice the years of experience and practical experience on top of that, so I'm lucky Instructor Sanada didn't step forward 2 or 3 centimeters more. If he did, he would have sent my face guard flying and knocked me out on the spot. This is how a veteran of actual combat fights. No, I need to get a grip. We haven't lost yet. Wait, why are Aki and Shimako fighting back to back? God damn it, the instructors are driving a wedge between us. We didn't account for this. We need to do something, but what? Our team has zero experience improvising on the fly. In that case, since teamwork is out of the equation, we'll have to rely on whatever we learned before enrolling here. Good. Head straight for him. Alright, it's according to plan. Yeah, stab him in the butt. Ooh. Wop, 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 wop. Head ringing. Yeah, that one's smarts. Air. Can't breathe. What just happened? What in the world just happened? Yep, breathe. You know, you just got the wind knocked out of you. Instructor Sanada? What about the fight? Oh, I see. It's done. I see. I have to stand up. Man, you got fucking walloped.
一瞬迷ったな。そのくだらん美学は多くの戦友を殺す。
Oh, what? Were you fucking feeling bad? Like, oh, I'm attacking his blind spot, you know. That type shit? Nah, fucking kill him. Exploit it, rip his throat out.
まったくさ、大人げないにも程があるよ。素人相手に。
仕方ないよ。軍事教練なんだから手は抜かないでしょ。実戦経験のある教官と私たちの差を身をもって思い知らせる意味もあるんだろうし。
Oh, one of the changes too, now that we're talking about like drill sergeants and no kitty gloves, is we can like go hands on now with our troops again, which is a little weird. I'll probably never have to do it, but it's like as long as you don't beat them, like we can get back up on their shit and like, you know, do some collar grabs and like fucking like not choke them out, but some real lay down the law type shit. I'll probably never have to do that, but you know, it's in the cards now, which feels weird.
だからその経験を言葉で伝えろっての。毎度何の
Still no
評価もアド
wall-to-wall
バイスもない
counseling.
なんてやっぱりおかしいって。
またそれ？もうそういう教練なんだからいい加減諦めなよ。
まああれだね、教官たちもともと帝国陸軍だから反りが合わない近衛に嫌がらせ。はいはい、くだらない愚痴はそこまで。2巡目に備えて反省点確認しとこう。
There we go.
場外から見て思ったことは、側溝が崩れた後の位置取りがめちゃくちゃだったことね。連携もバラバラだったしさ。即興なんて高望みしないで、いっそ声出して指示し合った方が良くない？
You're not entirely wrong on that one, but you know, 50 points, you know. You're not right
だから
either.
一番最初にやられるんだよ。バカはどっちよ。私が最初にやられたのは作
It's
戦で
almost
しょ。
like you should practice this more, so that way, you know, you have like ingrained, you know, fucking muscle memory, like, oh shit, this isn't working, do this now, and everybody's all on the same page.
ちょっと何その目、やめてくれる？かわいそうな泉。開始3秒で場外行きだもん。仕方ないよね。だからあれは作戦だって言って。そうだね。客観的な上から目線で批評するしか自分を保てないよね。あんただって最後は場外に蹴り出されたくせに。
Gotta stop falling for
大
this
体
girl.
ね、外で見てたからこそ客観的な指摘。私は泉の意見いいと思う。それが重要だって最初から言われているから当然なんだけど、
Yeah.
私たちは連携精度を上げる以外勝ち目はない。
You need to know your teammates to know what they'll do, so that way you're just able to act, you know, on the fly like that. Drop of a hat.
だとしたら今は手を読まれるリスクより互いを把握してフォローし合えるメリットを優先すべきじゃないかな。
そう言われればそうかも。
ゆい、シマ子、ほら見なさい。さすがよね。ゆいはちゃんと分かってるわ。
How unexpected. Normally they don't listen to a thing I say. Shimako cares deeply about social standing, so she's the exception, but I wonder why Aki and Izumi only listen to me at times like this. Is it because they think I can make better decisions than the rest of the team? Because that's not true. That's not true at all.
一瞬迷ったな。そのくだらん美学は多くの戦友を殺す。
I rushed towards Instructor Sanada in response to Shimako's attack. I came at Instructor Sanada from his blind side, where he wears his eye patch. This gave me a brief opening to strike at the leg he was using as his center of gravity. It was sheer luck that I was presented with an opening. Had I followed through, we would have claimed victory, or at the very least, neutralized the instructor. But I didn't. I hesitated. As Instructor Sanada later pointed out, It was for just a brief moment, but I hesitated nonetheless. 1 or 2 seconds were all Instructor Saito, who was running behind the clock and taking down Aki, needed to adjust to the situation. And what happened next? She came out of my blind spot and sent me crashing to the ground before I even knew what hit me. Instructor Sanada saw through me. My hesitation ruined everything. He demands that we cadets fight as if we were facing the beta. No mercy, no hesitation. His words imply that cold efficiency, not the dictates of... Bushido's fake anyway, it's not real! That shit was made up so much later and then, like, fucking implemented backwards and, like, pasted on to, like, oh, this is how the samurai have always fought. No! That shit's, like, new! It sucks, too. Anyway, where was I? I fucking hate Bushido, by the way. I think it's... I almost said something I'm not supposed to. Whoop, whoop. Can't say that on a family-friendly YouTube channel. But I think it's dumb. Should be the most important consideration for the Royal Guard on the battlefield. Yeah, because he's fucking right. The beta don't care about Bushido, you know, your fucking honor. You know, where... God, fucking... I hate Mass Effect 3, but there's a really good quote in there. It's like, stand in the ashes of a fucking million dead and ask them if honor matters. And it's like, yeah, no. Fucking fight to win, dude. A worthless moral code, he called it. Failing to strike where the enemy is most vulnerable is the height of folly in modern warfare. As far as the instructor is concerned, it was a clear mark of weakness. It was also the height of folly in ancient warfare, too. If you did that during, like, actual, you know, fucking... samurai times, you know, fucking... You know, they'd be looking at you like, are you fucking stupid? Like, grab his dick and twist it and fucking poke his eye with your thumb. Like, kill him! But... I will concede he is right when it comes to actual combat. However, armored fencing is an entirely different beast. No! No, you're looking at it wrong! No, you fucking idiot! Your opponent is not the beta! That's not the point! You need to start thinking like it's actual combat! That's the whole point! Practice like you play! Fight to win! If we're willing to go to any lengths to annihilate our enemies, even when they're fellow human beings, do we have the right to say that we're different from the beta? Yes! Oh, fucking, I'm 14 and this is deep. Jesus Christ. In your defense, you are like 16, so I will give you the benefit of the doubt here, but my God. Practice is essential to performing under pressure. Even in training, even if your opponent is another person, you must be willing to do whatever it takes to win. Intellectually speaking, it's not a hard concept to grasp, and I've always tried my best to follow orders of the sort. However, a voice inside my heart tells me this can't be right. Oh God, fucking mommy issues. Yeah, great, that's good for like civil society and like doing your taxes, but when it's time to fucking kill somebody, fuck all that shit. Fucking throw sand in their eyes and kick them in the fucking dick. Hit their kidneys. Like, the honor that is the foundation of House Takamura. The integrity that is the bedrock of my parents' lives. Yeah, the integrity of your father who has an illegitimate son in the United States with some white bitch. Yeah, totally. Almost like your entire worldview is built on a lie and it's unrealistic to begin with. And the whole point of your character is coming to understand that and grow past it, and we're at the beginning where you're still struggling with all that, but... Woo! These values have come together to form the person I am. They are an intrinsic part of my being. To cast aside these values would be to deny my very identity. As the next master of House Takamura, it would be a betrayal of the very people who have placed their faith in me.
ほら見なさい。さすがよね。ゆいはちゃんと分かってるわ。私は分かってなんていない。
In armored fencing, your opponent is human, not beta. Thus, it is only right that we stay our hands. At the same time, I can't deny this line of thinking may have dire consequences when it comes to actual warfare. Instructor Sanada has seen actual combat, and the Royal Guard trusts him enough to appoint him as our teacher. Objectively speaking, his words must be correct. Yet, despite my shortcomings, my squad won't hesitate to follow my lead. Yeah, because they're even in a worse off state than you. Fucking blind leading the blind here. Or, you know, in the world of the blind, the man with one eye is king type shit. In which case, the unavoidable conclusion is that Instructor Sanada is right. But that would mean I'm wrong, and I don't like that. That makes me feel bad. So that can't be right either. Must be some mysterious third thing. Because I refuse to compromise my principles, I will be the death of my comrades and all.
すごい。嘘。なんだよあれ。山城さんが斎藤助教から一本取った。
Yeah, because she's the real one who fucking gets it. She's not like lost up her own ass, you know, thinking about my honor, my family.
3対1の数的優位。これはもしかしたら、もしかするんじゃ。
Yeah, it's just that they were able to execute it better on you guys than you guys, because you guys suck. Several hours later. But, ladies and gentlemen, with that, me losing my fucking mind at Yui, she has this effect on me to drive me up the goddamn wall. That is where we're going to end it here for today. Right over 2 hours, but, you know, half of that is me just ranting and rambling and raving to nothing. So, you know, it was only probably like an hour and a half of real game time. And with that scene over, seems like a good time to stop, because I'm getting hungry and needing more coffee. So, kind of a weird segue and a weird ending here, because now I'm rambling and I'm not doing a good job of cutting it off, and now it's just awkward. So I'm going to say my outro bit. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and check out the Discord link in the description down below, and become a member today. And I will see you all next time for the next episode of Muv-Luv Alternative Total Eclipse Imperial Capital Burns. I'll probably just put in the Japanese title when I say it, because it's a lot easier. It's like 2 characters long, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. So I got nothing to say other than catch you guys later. Bye-bye.